Fellas, we are on to something. We might be developing a habit of winning amongst the Cincinnati Bengals. This is yet another victory episode coming at you live. Justin in the jungle. Jake Browning does it again over his former Minnesota Vikings. Let's dive in. And before we do this, seeing that Jake Browning is a alumni of the University of Washington. Our friend of the show, Adam Cousins, who was on the show earlier, sent me this text message. And this tells me all I need to know. Justin, Jake Browning has a very serious learning disability. He doesn't know how to lose games. It's been a long time problem for him. He's never learned. The dude never learned how to lose a game, and it's showing now. Great joke by Adam Cousins. Folks, Space Dust is in the house tonight. I'm also wearing my Tiny's High Dive bar. If you are in the Santa Monica area and you've never been to Tiny's, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Super fun bar. Go check it out. Warning, it's a Chicago bar, but it's a hell of a time there. So shout out Tiny's. Thank you for the hoodie. Love it. Very comfortable on this snug winter evening. So let's get into it. 27-24. We figured out a way to win. And quite possibly the most boring NFL game. From the end of that first offensive drive, which I'm about to talk about, to the middle of the third quarter, that was like visual NyQuil. Like, I have insomnia, sleep apnea, and sleep paralysis. I got the trifecta. And I should have DVR'd that game because if I just throw that on, that works better than any medicine that the VA's ever given me. Just watch that. Get all the sleep I need. But the end of the first offensive drive, and look, I gave Zach Taylor all the flowers, all the love last week. And I'm not saying he called a horrible game. Well, what the hell was that play on the end of the first drive? Our run was working. Our pass was working. And my man ZT calls a end around. Like he's playing Sega Genesis in 1998, John Madden football. You remember that shit? That's what he ran. You remember when that fucking ambulance would just hit players when they come out on the field? Jeez, but no, what was that play? That play was ridiculous. And that play right there almost cost us too. So I won't hate on him for another few minutes, but come on, Zach. I would say you're better than that, but I mean, it's to be decided. But our boy, the aforementioned Jake Browning, who I like to refer to as America's quarterback. My guy threw for 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. What? What I tell you guys? And I mean, we can talk about it, but it's the 19th. It's what, Tuesday? Like, it's been talked about so much since Saturday. But the touchdown to T. Higgins was insane. That was nuts. And you know what I'm talking about, where he got the ball, body control, everything, and did the backhand and reached over the goal post, or not goal post, but you know what I'm talking, goal line. And I saw that, and First off, on that play, I'm rambling, but first off, when I see Bengals fans that are like, most impressive touchdown I've ever seen in Bengals history, that tells me right there that you came on board with Joe Burrow, and that's fine. We welcome you guys. It's been fun, like getting a few extra Who days when I wear my Bengals hats and stuff in public. So that's fine. I'm not gonna get on you too hard, but Jerome Simpson, come on, stop. Jerome Simpson might quite possibly the most impressive touchdown in NFL history, let alone Bengals history. So I get it. And look, I love T. Higgins. I'm so on board with how do we get this guy paid? This is my dude. I got a crazy T. Higgins rookie card collection with probably 60, 70 autograph cards. Like it's unreal what I got as far as T. Higgins. But I will say this. As much as I want to be like all about that touchdown, I've seen it before. And it wasn't in football. It was Draymond Green when he went to backhand that dude. He did the same move. So as much as as much as I want to give Higgins his flowers on that, I'll give you a 9.5 for creativity because part of me thinks that you got that from Draymond Green the week before. So we'll give Draymond the 10 and Higgins a 9.5. Look, man, our defense made Nick Mullins look way too good. Like Nick Mullins threw for over 300 yards against us. Nick Mullins. Go ahead and then look him up. Yeah, he was the quarterback for the Vikings. And not only that, not only did Nick Mullins just play like but I thought a prime Adrian Peterson had come back to the Vikings. Like what? But no, it was Ty Chandler. Once again, go ahead, look him up. Ty Chandler was our run defense, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And I thought of it today. Like I need to call the Bengals front office and I know the trade deadline's over, so you can't go trading for a good run defense now. But I figured out a way to improve our run defense and you can sign these guys and probably for cheap. But you guys ever watch the show To Catch a Predator? You know the run the when the guy goes to run and takes off and you see all the police officers like tackle him outside of the house. Like what are those guys doing? Like that show's been off the air for a little while, I believe. They probably need some money. Come on, Bengals, let's bring them in. Like those guys, I mean, think about it. They got 100% stop rate. You've never seen those guys miss a tackle, or no one's ever ran past those guys. And they're sure as shit not gonna let Ty Chandler run for 150 some yards. So Chris Hansen, I don't know what you're doing still besides scamming people, but if you could let us borrow the boys just for a few weeks, like let's get him some, give him some money. Just let's borrow the boys, like we need them. So I don't know. Oh man, the playoff standings now, man. Just talking with Andy Ruther right now, and we're both on. Like I think you need to win every game. Like I think 11's the lucky number now, and I know Ocho Cinco on Nightcap 2 nights ago was saying he thinks 10 gets him in. So I'll say this though. I still think 11 gets you in, but I have never been more confident since Burrow's injury that we could win all 3 of these games. I know they're all tough, like they're not easy. 2 of them are AFC North games. I think the game against the Chiefs, I've always been like, but honestly, man, I think the Chiefs are suspect. And I think I think if you have one of these Jake Browning games that he's been having, you can do it. And I know we're out Reader and perhaps I know at least this game we're out Jamar Chase, but they came back and they won without both of them. So we'll see. I know these teams aren't obviously the Minnesota Vikings either, but I mean, who do we got? Um, what's I forget the dude's name. For the Steelers, the one that got hit in the head with the helmet. So I don't know. Yeah, so Steelers are playing with a crazy backup too. So this could be another game similar to what we just saw, but we'll see. I don't know. But that leads me to the beginning of the season when you dum dums were like, "Hey, we've been 2-4, 4-3. We've been this before. We're fine." No, we weren't. This is exactly why you need to win those early games. Like we got Matt. Who do we got head to head wins over with all these teams? The Colts and the Bills. And we'll see what that gets us. I mean, right now, we're sitting at 6. So we'll see what that gets us. I mean, look, the AFC is just wild. So I think it's 11. It could be 10 and some prayers, but let's just go win them all. How about that? How about that? And yeah, I got something for you guys this week. I have, and this is going to be half the episode, but I have the Bengals 12 Days of Christmas. It's been a hard season, some heartbreak, some good times. It's been just a whole bag of emotions. So for you guys, I am going to give you a Christmas present. And that is the Bengals 12 Days of Christmas. And how this works is for whatever day it is, I will give a player a gift. Kind of. I'll tell you what I'd give that player that wears that number for that day. You'll see what I'm doing. Let me get started with this. So here we go. On the 12th day of Christmas, we give Mohamed Sanu a Bengal that once wore number 12. I will give him a contract starting right now because obviously Zach Taylor is having wet dreams about a wide receiver that can throw a football. Huh? So that's how this is going to go. On the 11th day of Christmas, I'm going to give Lavernius Coles a pat on the back and a participation trophy for having to replace the GOAT, TJ Hushmanzada. You tried, buddy, but a hoosh you were not. Number 10, on 10th day of Christmas, Kevin Huber. I'm going to give that guy a contract with Dr. Scholl's and get him his own little, are you gelling? Are you gelling? I'm gonna get him his own commercial like that. He deserves to be a spokesperson for some kind of foot product. That guy kicked for us till he's like 112 years old. So thank you, Kevin, and stay gelling. Number 9. Now this is a hard one. I know you guys are like, is he gonna go Palmer? Is he gonna go Burrow? But no, I'm gonna go Massimo Manca, a punter from 1987 who played in 3 games, right? A punter from 1987 who played in 3 games for the Cincinnati Bengals. For Christmas, I'm going to give him a shout out on a podcast because I can guarantee you nobody has ever talked about Massimo Manca on any type of podcast. So I'm going to give him a shout out. and be the first person to ever talk about Manka on a podcast. So congrats, Massimo. 5 people know your story now. 8th day of Christmas. Jeff Blake. I already figured out a way to make him a top 5 quarterback a few weeks ago, so that's more than enough. Good day, sir. Number 6, and you know where I'm going with this one. The backup. The man. Jeff Driscoll. Haven't we given him enough? We let him start 5 games. We let Jeff Driscoll start 5 games for us, and that skyrocketed his career. He went on to start 6 more games the next 4 years for 3 different teams. You could have never did that if the Bengals weren't looking out for you, Mr. Driscoll. You're welcome. Number 5, Ryan Finley. I'm going to give Ryan Finley some noise-canceling headphones so he can just act like that one win against Pittsburgh 3 years ago was the best thing that Joe Burrow's backup's ever done for him. So keep living on that, Ryan Finley. You got a meme out of it. Number 4, A.J. McCarron. I didn't know he was number 4 this time around, I'll be honest. Like, I was just looking at, hey, who wears number 4? And it shocked me, but I get it because T. Higgins is number 5. And I mean, for number 4, you guys probably thought I was talking about, like, I could talk about Randy Bullock and say, like, pastries or something. But I just really wanted you guys to know that A.J. McCarron is number 4 this season. And also know that A.J. McCarron might finish this season with -1 passing yards. So we got that. And I did mess up. I know that. I skipped number 7. I'm coming back to it now. So we're just going to act like that didn't happen. But number 7, David Klingler. And I don't know how to bring up photos on here, or I would have done it. I'm going to remind you guys or tell you guys to go look this up. He has the coolest football card ever in Cincinnati Bengals history. Go look up his Pro Line rookie card. It's my man Klingler sitting on the side of a truck wearing a cowboy hat. Doesn't get much more cooler than that, and you guys should all be looking that up. And right now, it should be popping up on the screen, but I don't know how to do that. Number 3, John Kitna. And I just want to give this dude some props because this man stayed out of trouble. This man, like, there was those seasons where it seemed like every single Bengal was getting arrested. But not our man, John Kitna. Always kept his nose clean, like, was always, like, a good representative of the team. And then years later, he became a good representative of his family when his son, Jalen, got found with inappropriate photos of underage women. And John Kitna stayed out of trouble then, too. And it's probably, look, don't name your kid Jalen. That kid is whiter than me, and you named him Jalen. You kind of deserve that one, John, if I'm being honest with you. But, hey, way to stay out of trouble. All right, number 2, Mike Nugent. I'm going to remind everyone how good of a kicker he was at Ohio State. Like, when he was a field goal kicker, you never got nervous, even for extra points at Ohio State. When he would kick a chip shot, there was a such thing as a chip shot at Ohio State. So I just really wanted to remind you guys how good of a field goal kicker Mike Nugent was at Ohio State. And number 1, I didn't know this. I should. I didn't know. Jamar Chase is the only one in Bengal history to ever wear the number 1. And look, man, he's going to get his bag. He's about to get paid. He's fine. So we're going to talk about the real number one. The reason we do what we do. The reason the Bengals are winning now. The reason success rate is like it is. The reason Cincinnati's on the map. The revenue of that city is just skyrocketed. Harambe. Harambe is our number one. And I'm going to give him the love and respect that he deserves. And the fact that he took Cincinnati and put them on the map is incredible. So for that, Harambe, we thank you and we love you and we miss you and we'll see you soon. So yeah, that's 12 days of Bengal Christmas for you guys. Something different. So we got the Steelers on Saturday afternoon, Steelers. And we'll see what happens. It could be another game like half that game, or could be another fun half. So I'll be back in a couple days with the preview episode, and I'm gonna find a Steelers fan. I know they're out there, but I'm gonna find one, and we'll get into it. So that's this week's podcast. You guys have a safe holiday weekend. And actually, I'll talk to you again before the weekend. So go ahead and rage, and I don't really care what you do the next couple days, but just be back when I'm back. From me to you guys, Hoo day.